Wait, why are you here, Emily?
What?
You were alive? I thought you might have died.
Well, it's Sharon.
Ew, yourself? Wait, you didn't come to steal Jason back from me, did you? Jason's already my husband. He doesn't care about you anymore. So it's not gonna work.
I didn't plan on doing anything.
Anyways, I was so surprised when I saw you. Why are you at this apartment? I thought you became homeless after I sold Jason and you were kicked out of the house with a not a thing. You were a housewife with no job experience and nowhere to go, right? I was just shocked when you passed me at the entrance.
Thanks for the summary of what happened 7 years ago. But don't forget that I had enough skills to find a job.
What?
Thanks to it, I was able to find a job just 1 week after you took everything away from me.
Which means that you were homeless for at least 1 week, right? That's shorter than I thought, but the joke's on you!
Since when did you care about what happened to me?
What? Of course I care! Imagining what kind of poor lifestyle you must be living was so much fun these last 7 years.
Oh, is that so? I don't know what kind of lifestyle is considered poor in your standards, but I've at least been able to get a place at a high-rise condo.
What? Oh, one of the tiny rooms in the lower floors, right? Me and Jason live on the 26th floor. There are only 27 floors, so it's basically the top.
Are you trying to make some sort of hierarchy based on the floor we live in? That sounds pretty petty, so don't involve me in it, okay?
So, what floor do you live in?
I won't tell you.
Aw, never mind. It'll be so embarrassing if people find out a relative of mine lives in one of the lower floors, which is why I won't ask you anymore. Hold on! Are you serious? You must be kidding me! My stomach actually hurts right now from laughing.
What is it now?
You work with a client of the company Jason owns?
What?
Jason inherited his uncle's company 1 year ago and became the CEO. So Jason had to go over to one of his client companies today, which is when he said that he saw you on the way home at the reception counter.
Oh, I guess I did see him today. He was pretty far away, so I couldn't get a good look.
So do you work part-time there? Or are you a dispatch worker?
What does it matter to you?
You won't tell me, so you must be a part-time worker. I mean, I guess it's hard for a housewife in her 30s to get a job.
I'll tell you this now, but the only reason I haven't blocked you yet is to see what you're going to do.
What?
I'm not leaving you unblocked to listen to you boast or insult me. And it's definitely not to tell you about what's going on in my life.
Aw, but we've only got each other now that Mom and Dad are gone. Let's get along.
Says the person who stole my husband and made our relationship, which was not good to begin with, even worse.
But it would have been fine if only you acted like an adult.
Talking to you is a waste of time.
You, the part-time worker, is going to insult me, the CEO's wife? I'll tell Jason. You've heard of M corporations, right? Are you sure you want to anger the CEO of the company your place is working with?
M corporations, huh? That is the place my company is working with right now, I guess. I'm assuming he became CEO just because there is no one else to inherit the company.
So you do understand? Then you best not make me mad.
I mean, we're not going to be working with M corporations anymore starting from next month. So why bother?
What did you say? Emily, just what did you do?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about yesterday. You said that your company wouldn't be working with M corporations anymore, right? Jason told me that the reason he went to your place was to ask them not to cut ties.
Oh, that? He did come to our company, but couldn't meet the CEO, right?
Yes, and he's saying that the CEO of A corporations he couldn't meet was you. What's this about?
Well, yes, I am the CEO. A Corporations is a company I started 5 years ago.
No way!
It seems that Jason knew this since a while back, but he must have not told you to protect your pride.
But you said you were just a part-time worker. Liar!
Didn't you just assume I was a part-timer worker because I wouldn't answer you? Go and check the chat history. Oh, And one more thing. You probably haven't heard this yet, so I should probably tell you.
What?
It's about the alimony.
Huh? Oh, you mean the money you tried to take from us for me stealing Jason from you? The date's already expired. Too bad.
I'm sorry to break the news while you seem to be having so much fun, but I actually did receive an alimony.
What?
7 years ago, I was kicked out of the house in the middle of the night by you and Jason, right? I had no place to go that night and was what you call homeless. But a friend of mine, who was abroad on work, was supposed to come home the next day. I waited for her to return and contacted her. She gave me a place to stay and even found a lawyer and detective for me. It was quick from there. A month later, I succeeded in having Jason pay $50,000.
50,000?
So he really didn't tell you anything, huh?
Who cares about that anymore? We were talking about why your company cut ties with Jason's. Do something about it.
What exactly do you want me to do?
I'm telling you to start dealing with Jason's company again. This is an order from the wife of the CEO of M Corporations.
What do you mean, order? You probably contacted me in an attempt to do something about the Jason problem, Sharon. But it's me, the CEO of A Corporations, that has the upper hand.
What?
To put it simply, my company was giving Jason's company jobs. We've been working with M Corporation since Jason's uncle was CEO, but the quality of work has noticeably decreased ever since Jason took charge. A series of unbelievable mistakes during the past 3 months was the final straw. It's been affecting our work as well, so we decided to have another company do the work, which means that we won't be dealing with M Corporations anymore.
What? Can't you forgive a few mistakes? That's why Jason got rid of you in the first place. You're too uptight.
This is business. This has nothing to do with this.
But...
You know, I did ask M Corporations to do something about it multiple times, but they wouldn't listen, which is why I decided to find another company to work with.
Rude!
Say whatever you want. As the CEO of A Corporations, I have a duty to protect the reputation of the company and the lives of our workers, even if it means I need to make hard decisions.
You're inhuman!
I'll say this again, but this is business. This was a logical decision based on the fact, so I have no intention of changing my mind.
You stubborn hag!
Leaving that aside, you're still meeting Stan?
What?
You know, the guy you seduced in high school thinking I had a crush on him? You were able to get him hired at M Corporations, right?
What is it suddenly? That stuff happened ages ago.
Don't you notice that you dug yourself a hole, Sharon?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about yesterday. You said that Jason saw me at the reception lobby, but in reality it was Stan, who went with Jason, that saw me, right?
What?
Jason already knew I was the CEO of A Corporations, so he would have came over and talked to me if he had noticed, but he didn't and just passed me by. Stan, on the other hand, noticed me and smiled when our eyes met. Not only that, but yesterday soon after you texted me, I got a text from Stan saying, "I didn't know you worked part-time at A Corporations." Ha ha ha.
Huh?
I asked him where he had heard that from, and he said that you told him.
Oh shit!
Well, this is just what I speculated based on the evidence. But I told Stan's wife about my suspicions, so she took a peek at Stan's phone and stuff.
What?
She thanked me after she found a bunch of evidence pointing to Stan cheating.
What do you think you're doing?
By the way, Stan's wife is sitting next to me right now.
Why?
Get ready because I'm going to hire an acquaintance of mine who's a lawyer and bring you two to court, she says.
But...
Oh, she says she told Jason about it too.
Seriously? Jesus, what's happening right now? Emily, give me back my money. You know the alimony you said Jason paid for the two of us. I needed to pay the alimony Jason and Stan's wife are asking of me. Emily? Hey! Give me my money back!
I don't quite understand what she meant when she said to give me her money back. But she finally got it when a lawyer explained to her that the alimony Jason paid to me wasn't hers. Sharon and Stan began meeting each other before she and Jason got married. So the money they'll have to pay is quite a lot. Apparently, my sister, who became a housewife when she married Jason, said, "What? I have to find a way to get all this money on my own?" And then fell on her knees. Stan, on the other hand, got a loan from somewhere and immediately paid it off, and no one's heard of him since. Jason's company, on the other hand, went bankrupt since no one was giving them work anymore. My sister, who can no longer rely on Jason's help, now works non-stop at a shop to pay off her debt.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Mel, where are you right now? Where did your clothes and all your stuff go? Place is empty. Frankie's room too. Everything's gone. What's going on? Where did you and Frankie go?
Hello, Jay. I know this is sudden and might come as a surprise, but me and Frankie won't be coming back home.
What?
I met someone else. We're getting a divorce. Don't worry, I'll only be taking Frankie. You can keep Anthony.
What? Where the hell did this come from? What's going on? Why?
I'm doing this for Frankie's benefit. Let's face it, Jay, our son is a genius. He's always at the top of his class, he loves to study, he excels at every sport he tries, everything he touches turns to gold. He wins the school art and music competitions every single year, too. There's no doubt about it, he's genuinely gifted. Which is why I think he deserves to be raised in the best environment possible and receive a superb education worthy of such high intellect. That's why he needs someone who's capable of providing financially for him. Let's face it, Jay, that's not you, is it? I'm sorry, but our son deserves better than what you can give him.
What? I'm not filthy rich, so you're divorcing me and moving out with my son all of a sudden? I don't understand the logic. We have food on the table, do we not? I thought we were getting by. And why do you only want Frankie? None of this makes any sense. How do you think this is gonna make Anthony feel? Have you even thought about that? This is basically the same as saying, "Hey son, you're not as smart as your brother, so I'm abandoning you. See ya!"
It's not basically the same. That's really what I'm doing. He's a good-for-nothing dullard that will never amount to anything. He's a failure of a human being. Son or not, what benefit is there in having someone like that around?
What? How can you say that? Anthony is not a failure of a human being.
Yes, he damn well is. His grades are below average in literally everything. He sucks at studying, he's so clumsy he doesn't even get picked in team sports, he's useless. He never won a single prize at school. No, it's worse than that. He never won a single thing in his life. How could he be described as anything other than a failure of a human being?
Stop speaking about him like that. Anthony's doing his best. He works so hard and tries to meet your expectations of him. Just because he might not always meet them doesn't mean he's not trying. He skips on sleep to study, damn it! Besides, his grades might not be the best, but they did start going up over the last year.
Maybe they did start going up a little recently, but they're still only slightly above average. If that's the best he can do when he pushes his limits, he is obviously not cut out for anything special. Face it, he lost the dice roll. Frankie got the clever genes. All the study in the world is meaningless without results. Frankie's always been a natural at whatever he does. How did his big brother end up so useless? If we're honest, he'll only end up holding Frankie back. Do you want to end up with 2 failed children?
Come on, are you seriously saying we should separate them? They're brothers and they love each other. They get on like a house on fire. How do you think they'd feel about being torn apart? They're still in elementary and middle school, for crying out loud. It would crush them and you know it.
Frankie would be more crushed by growing up to be a failure and realizing it was all because he received the poisonous influence of his loser brother for far too long. We have to be courageous enough to make the decision now, before it's too late. Anyway, whether you like it or not, it's already decided. I'm taking Frankie because he's gifted, he's going to do great things one day. My new boyfriend is very wealthy. He's the CEO of a major donut chain, but he doesn't have any kids of his own. He said if Frankie can maintain his excellent grades until he graduates college, he'll adopt him and appoint him as successor to his company. And the cream of the intellectual crop, with the support of my new boyfriend, he'll be receiving a world-class education of the kind that most people can only dream of. Then one day, he'll be part of the business elite, the backbone of America, which is precisely why he can't be allowed to associate with a pair of brain-dead morons like you two for 1 second longer. Me and Frankie are moving up in the world. And me and you will be cutting all ties.
Just wait a sec, Mel. You don't just get to decide something like this all on your own. I won't accept it.
I don't care whether you accept it or not. Whatever you say, I'm absolutely not taking his moron brother. I wouldn't if you paid me. I hope you and Anthony enjoy your new life together. It might be hard, what with you two having a combined IQ of less than 50 and all, but good luck. Goodbye forever. Hello, Jay. It's been a while. It's me, Mel.
What do you want after all this time? Go away.
I'd rather you weren't so rude. I was thinking of celebrating today, so I gave you a call. I heard the news about Anthony getting into med school. That's my boy. I always knew he'd do great things. He's got brains just like his mother. I can't tell you how proud this makes me.
Oh, that's strange. I could have sworn you were calling him every name under the sun when we last spoke 5 years ago. Good-for-nothing loser, brain-dead, a failure of a human being. You cast us both aside like pieces of trash.
He really was a failure back then, though. I mean, come on, Jay. His grades were below average. Let me tell you, though, I was astonished when I heard he'd made it into med school. My jaw practically hit the floor. But you know what? Deep down, I always knew that he had what it took to go the distance, to really do something amazing with his life.
You've got some nerve, woman. The only reason you want to snuggle up to him now is because he got into med school. I can read you like a book. You're as shallow as you are naive. He doesn't need you to celebrate for him. Now get lost.
Oh, wait, just wait. That's not all I wanted to say. There's something else we have to talk about.
There is? You mean you have more nonsensical crap to bore me with? Today must be my lucky day, huh?
Stop being so difficult and just listen. It's about Frankie. You know how his grades were so excellent back when I took him 5 years ago? Well, I'd like to trade him for Anthony.
Excuse me?
No one could deny he was the shame of our family back then. He was so clumsy, it was like he had 2 left feet, which naturally made him useless at sports, and his academic ability was even worse. But now he's in med school, I have absolutely no problem with acknowledging him as my son. Rather than betting everything on Frankie, whose performance at this point is so pathetic, he might not even make it past his college entrance exams. I think it would make more sense to invest our hopes for the future in Anthony, who's already proven he's the one who's going places by getting into med school. My husband agreed. He said if he's clever enough to get into med school, he'd have no problem with allowing him to live with us. Look, basically, you need to give me Anthony.
Wow. Just when I thought you couldn't sink any lower, you speak about our boys like they're racehorses.
I get it. Maybe there's a better way to say it, but when you think about it realistically, children are basically racehorses, aren't they? My life will change enormously depending on whether my sons succeed or not. It's only natural to want to hedge your bets on the promising one. You get that, right?
Like hell I do! You're twisted! Anthony isn't some tool solely existing to provide you with a comfortable life. Not only did you snatch Frankie away from his dad and brother, but now you're trying to manipulate Anthony like he's some pawn on a chessboard?
Fine. If you don't want to give me Anthony, let's trade.
What?
I'll give you Frankie if you give me Anthony. Frankie might still only be in high school, but it is one of the most prestigious high schools in the country. I'll even cover all his tuition fees and send you regular child support payments. You can't say fairer than that. I think this is a really favorable trade for you.
Wow, just hold on a sec. You want us to trade sons? What are they, Pokemon cards? Are you insane? How could you do that to Frankie? I thought you loved him.
You'll probably find it eventually, so I may as well just tell you the truth. But Frankie moved out half a year ago.
He did what?
He was doing great until middle school. Top grades, always winning competitions and prizes. He was the golden boy. But when he moved up to high school, he met a girl on social media who clearly must have poisoned his mind, because not long after they met, he left home. He did carry on going to school for a little while, and he did used to message me every now and then, but eventually he stopped showing up. And even if I went to meet him or lied in wait where he couldn't see me, nothing. I have no idea where he went and have no way of getting him back.
Frankie did that?
My husband flipped a switch. I've never seen him so furious. He invested so much in that boy's education so he could be his successor and inherit the company one day. To think all it took to destroy it was some bimbo. He threatened to divorce me if I couldn't get Frankie back.
No way. So the only reason you want Anthony is as a replacement for Frankie? You're using him as a tool to avoid getting divorced?
If I'm completely honest, yes. We had an arrangement. My husband, being childless, said that if I could provide him with an adoptive son and successor to his company, he'd promise me a life of luxury as a celeb trophy wife. If I don't hurry up and find him a replacement, I'm gonna be on the streets.
I didn't know it was actually possible for a single human being to be this despicable. You make me sick. I have no words. To think part of me actually thought you were being sincere back then when you said you were doing what you did for Frankie. Turns out you were only ever thinking about yourself. Does your selfishness know no bounds?
You can say what you want about me, I don't care. Are you gonna give me Anthony or not? I might not be able to trade him for Frankie, but who knows, maybe he'll go and live with you voluntarily. If Anthony can get into med school after being such a failure, anything's possible. Maybe Frankie could even become a respectable human being again if he lived with you. So what's it gonna be? Will you give me him?
You must be deluded if you think even for a second I'm actually going to go along with this. You're something else. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. You're the one who got abandoned.
Huh?
You probably thought you were the one who abandoning me and Anthony, but the only one who actually got abandoned is you.
What are you talking about? What does that mean?
Frankie probably finally saw through your unparalleled selfishness and decided he was better off making a life for himself rather than relying on his deluded and very likely sociopathic mother. Basically, he had enough of you and didn't want to be around you a moment longer.
There's no way Frankie would ever think that about me. He's a genius. How could anyone so wise and intelligent have a negative opinion of me?
He left precisely because he's wise and intelligent. He probably realized that he was doomed to a life of being used and manipulated if he stayed with you. So he made a break for it and abandoned you. That's my boy.
Oh my god. After we spent so much money on him.
Anyway, I won't be giving you Anthony, and we won't be doing any kind of trade. In fact, Anthony is adamant he never wants to see you again. I also have no intention of letting him come anywhere near someone as dangerous as you. You can beg me as much as you like. I'm simply going to ignore you, and I will absolutely not be helping you. Leave us alone. Forever.
No, wait, please. I'm gonna be in so much trouble if you don't help me. Please, I won't have anywhere to live. If I can't provide my husband with a replacement son, his company will be successorless. What do you propose he do about that, huh?
Oh, is that my problem? Nope. That has precisely zero to do with me and my sons. Zilch. Nada.
Please, Jay, I'm begging you. Will you at least let Anthony meet my husband? He can do what he likes as long as he agrees to inherit the company. If he doesn't, I'm gonna get kicked out. I'll be homeless. Could you live with yourself? Be honest, could you?
Yes, very easily. It's actually kind of ironic, isn't it? You called Anthony a failure of a human being for so long, but ultimately, you're only capable of getting by begging from and sponging off of others. Looks like you were the one that failed a human being all along. After that, Mel showed up at my front door after driving a very long way to try and persuade me. Or should I say, my old front door. I'd moved house 2 years back and made a point of not telling her my new address. So I was surprised to hear from my old neighbor about the strange woman making a racket next door. Apparently, she gave up eventually, and her efforts to contact me and Anthony ended in vain. I heard she also went to the police to see if they'd help her find Frankie, but they told her no crime had been committed and refused to have anything to do with it. Ultimately, her worst fears came true. Her husband divorced her, and she was homeless. She somehow managed to scrape together the rent on a tiny cockroach-ridden apartment and currently spends her days in the depths of poverty, probably contemplating where it all went wrong. By the way, there's something I should come clean about. Frankie moved in with me and his brother 6 months ago. The stress of his mother constantly restricting his freedom, combined with the pressure put on by him by her husband to take over his company, became too much to bear. In order to pull off this vanishing act, he pretended he met a girl online and had decided to go and live with her. Then, as he moved up to high school, he put together a bare minimum of essential items and came home to live with me and his brother. I know he's my son, but if I do say so myself, that was one hell of a move. I was in awe of his decisiveness and strength of will. With his mom getting divorced, he couldn't afford to stay at the original high school he moved up to, so he moved to another one near our house. Now, he's living comfortably while doing the things that he wants to do, living life on his own terms. As for Anthony, he was over the moon to be reunited with his brother. The three of us intend to live our lives in happiness and harmony from now on.
Hey sis, how's it hanging? Me and my boyfriend are going on a picnic date next weekend, so I need you to make us some super extravagant luxury lunchboxes. I told him I'm making them, so they have to be perfect. Got it? Ugh, Chrissy, not this again. Got it? Seriously? Is that how you speak to someone you're asking a favor? You have to stop doing this. Huh? Stop? Stop what? What do you mean? You always make me lunchboxes. All I'm doing is asking for some slightly more extravagant ones this time. Listen, Chrissy, I've been telling you this for a long time, but if you want me to make you lunchboxes, you need to start paying me for the ingredients. I'm not made of money, you know? I've been making you them for over half a year now. What? You're seriously gonna ask me for money over this? I'm a student, for crying out loud. You can't actually be claiming a couple of lunchboxes is gonna affect you financially. You're gonna be making them for yourself and my big bro anyway, aren't you? I think you should do it for free. Remember the very first time you asked me to make you a lunchbox? How you promised you'd always pay me for the ingredients? It's been over 6 months, and yet you've paid me once or twice at most. You just stopped after the first couple of times. Every time it's, I'll pay later, but nothing ever materializes. Not a single cent virtually this whole time. Food isn't free, you know? Maybe not, but I'm still in college and I have no money. You and my brother have money, right? You have jobs, so you must. I so can't believe you're being this petty over a few lunchboxes. Let me make this clear. I don't go to work to feed you. Besides, I'm not even your real sister. We're not related at all. What makes you think you have the right to ask me this? Because we live near each other? I don't get it. Can you give me a single legitimate reason I should have to constantly make my sister-in-law free lunchboxes? What's more, you boss me around with orders, even having the nerve to demand luxury ones. Or telling me to make sure that they're perfect. I don't have to take this from you. What's the problem? You should be grateful for the opportunity to do a super cute favor for your super cute little sister. You're not cute at all. Being pestered for free lunchboxes is about the least cute thing I can think of. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. To be totally honest with you, I get mad every time I make you one. I've had enough, and I won't take it anymore. You live at home with your mom, so why not get her to make you them? Or at the very least, you could see if she'll teach you how to make them yourself? In any case, I'm not making you anything. No way, Mom's lunchboxes suck. I need my boyfriend to think I make super trendy, tasty lunchboxes. That's why you're the only one I can come to. No one makes a lunchbox as mean as you, sis. I mean it, you've got real talent. Plus, didn't you say you enjoy cooking? Think about it, you get to help out your little sis while having heaps of fun. And my boyfriend, and by extension everyone at school, will think I'm a master chef. Surely this is win-win. It is not win-win. I might enjoy cooking, but that doesn't mean I like being forced to do it against my will. And please, do you really think I can just keep quiet while you take all the credit for my hard work? Wow, sis, you seem mad? Isn't your boiling point a little low? Are you really losing your head over something like this? Who the heck wouldn't be mad? Remember that other time I got annoyed and refused to make anything for you? What did you do? You took the spare key from your mom's desk, snuck into my house, and stole mine and my husband's lunchboxes from the fridge. Do you know how much trouble you caused for us? If you're not gonna give me any money for the ingredients, I'm never making you a single lunchbox again. What? You won't make mine and my boyfriend's lunchboxes? Oh my god. And there was me feeling all lucky to have a big sis who's good at cooking. If you won't even cook for me. Why did my big bro even bother marrying you in the first place? Ugh, he messed up big time. Let's face it, it's not like you're good for anything other than cooking. You need to make yourself useful somehow. Huh? What are you even saying? My god. Oh, Diddums, is someone upset? I'm so sorry. Fine, whatever. Have it your way. Let's make this date with my boyfriend the last time you ever make me anything. I'll even get the money together for everything you made me so far. Please, just make sure I get those luxury lunchboxes, okay? Please? Fine. I'll make you the mother of all lunchboxes. Yippee! Thanks, sis. You're the best. Bryant?
Hey, Angelica, what's up?
Chrissy asked me to make her some lunchboxes again. She told me I'm not good for anything besides cooking.
Damn it. I'm so sorry, babe. I told her countless times by now, but she does nothing but ignore me. It's like it goes in one ear and out the other.
I know, I get that. You may as well be talking to a brick wall. She's so self-centered, it's actually hard to believe. A huge, prickly, annoying-ass thorn in both our sides.
But she causes you more trouble than anyone else. I'm so sorry, babe. I really am.
I can't deny it, she really got to me this time. I'm gonna teach her a lesson. She wants me to make her some luxury lunchboxes for some date with her boyfriend. I'm thinking of treating her to a little surprise. It might cost some money, though. You don't mind if I take revenge, do you?
Be my guest. I normally wouldn't go for this kind of thing, but I don't know what else to suggest at this point. Alright, leave the fallout to me. I'll let mom and dad know too.
Thanks, honey. This is gonna be satisfying. Hey, pick up! What the heck did you do? Explain the lunchboxes, now! Oh, hey, Chrissy. How's your date going? Did you eat your lunchboxes? Were they yummy? Don't screw me around. What was in them? They were horrible. How could you make me something so gross? What was with those sandwiches? And those colorful balls inside them? There was blue, green, pink. They were like no sandwiches I've ever seen. I didn't need you to reinvent the wheel. I just needed some freaking roast beef sandwiches. Artificial squid balls? Artificial squid balls? Made with sodium alginate and calcium lactate. The taste is said to resemble something approaching soup. The flashy appearance is from the food coloring I added. Aren't they jazzy? Haven't you heard of colorful tapioca? They're all the rage these days. So what? That doesn't mean me and my boyfriend have to eat them. Who puts tapioca in sandwiches anyways? They're not actually tapioca though. I told you, they're artificial squid balls. Since they don't actually contain meat, they don't spoil. Plus, they're good for the environment. Not only that, but they're also fun to look at, don't you think? Fun? Are you insane? I'm not having fun at all. They're the creepiest thing I've ever seen. My boyfriend seemed happy enough, but what the hell was I supposed to say when he asked how I made them? Whoopsie, my bad. In that case, I'll teach you how to make them sometime. I might not exactly look like Einstein, but believe it or not, I did get the best grades in science class back in high school. I don't want to know how to make these abominations. I mean it, Angelica, stop screwing me around. It wasn't just the sandwich either, everything was weird. What the hell were you thinking? I don't understand.
Oh, really? You don't understand. Well, in that case, allow me to give you an in-depth explanation. I got all sorts of rare, hard-to-find ingredients together for you. They didn't just cost a lot of money, but a fair bit of research was involved too. I really pushed the boat out for you, sis. First of all, of course, we have the 1,000-year-old eggs. Fermented duck eggs, preserved across the ages. They're a delicacy in China, or so I hear.
Those black eggs? You mean those were 1,000-year-old duck eggs? Well, this is just great, isn't it? That's pretty much the weirdest, most disgusting thing anyone could possibly imagine. Ugh.
Oh, don't worry. That was just the starter. Next, we have the zucchini vegetable marinade. Well, actually, that one's pretty normal.
To you, maybe. In the eyes of any normal person, that clearly doesn't go in a lunchbox.
As for the main course, we have the delicious, the highly extravagant bear meat braised in red wine.
What? Bear meat?
There's an old guy in my parents' neighborhood who's part of the local hunting club. Apparently, they have to put bears who's deemed to be a danger to the local down from time to time. I went out of my way to buy some from him and have it sent over. According to him, that was the most delicious cut. You should consider yourself privileged. I had it stewing slowly in the kitchen since yesterday. Don't you think it was just so soft and tender? My greatest masterpiece of all time, if I do say so myself.
Who does this? Why did you put bear meat in our lunchboxes? I couldn't even answer my boyfriend when he asked me what meat it was. He thinks it was me who made them, so now I just look like an idiot. Do you know how embarrassed I was? Ugh, I cringe just thinking about it.
Oh no, that's such a shame. Would you say it's unbearable?
Ugh, stop it, you're not funny. And that's not even all of it. I mean, what the heck was that? In the smaller lunchbox. That weird little ball with like freaky little hairs all over it.
Oh, the rambutan?
Rambutan? What even is that?
You mean you don't know? It's like a lychee fruit but covered in hairs. I had a big batch arrive the day before yesterday. I found them so refreshing that I thought they'd make a nice dessert for you and your boyfriend. I bet you loved them, right? Go on, admit it. They're delicious, aren't they?
Ugh, how could we eat something that looks like that? Besides, we didn't even know how to. We gave up when we got creeped out by how freaky looking they were.
What a waste! They're simply delicious. You just break them open with your hands. It's not hard.
I can't do that, and I didn't know. For the last time, stop screwing me around. You're so hateful. How could you do this? Why did you have to make such weird lunchboxes? Do you have any idea how much you embarrassed me?
Isn't it obvious? You're the one who said you wanted some super extravagant luxury lunchboxes. That's why I spared no expense in finding the rarest, most beautiful looking, most extravagant ingredients from across the world. Do you have any idea how hard I worked for you?
I didn't need you to work hard like that. Who asked for a creepy box of horrors? No one. I just meant extravagant and luxurious, but with normal ingredients. How could I convince my boyfriend it was me who made them if they were full of stuff I've never even heard of?
Take a chill pill, Chrissy. It's not good for your health to be this mad. Why don't you sit down on the sofa, take some big deep breaths, and relax with a nice soft drink? Don't worry, I put some flasks of cowpea soda in your lunchboxes.
I knew it! I knew those drinks tasted funny! My boyfriend said it was disgusting too. I just assumed it was some kind of pickled vegetable soup.
In India, cowpea soda is an ancient delicacy considered to have medicinal properties and aid digestion, you know? Cows are revered as sacred beings in that part of the world. There's a lot of people who would be jealous of you and your boyfriend. You're actually really lucky. Didn't you say you suffered with constipation and seem to be getting a lot of colds lately? I was trying to look out for you. I really went the extra mile for you here, Chrissy, so I think it'd be an utter shame if you didn't drink every last drop.
Ugh, stop making those stupid puns, I mean it. You weren't looking out for me at all. Things like that don't belong in lunchboxes. No, they don't belong anywhere. Never look out for me again. Who the hell could drink anything that sour?
Well, was it really that bad? I thought it was nice.
I never asked for your opinion. Why did you do this? I told my boyfriend I was gonna make him the nicest lunchboxes he'd ever had. How was I supposed to make him think I made them when I didn't even know what the ingredients were?
That's hardly my problem. This is why you shouldn't lie to people.
Shut up and get off your high horse, you self-righteous idiot. My boyfriend went home. He must think I'm so weird now. Oh my god. What am I supposed to do? This is all your fault. If I get dumped, it's because of you. You better take responsibility.
That would be a real shame, huh? Okay, I'll take responsibility. Since I feel so bad, to make up for it next time, I'll make you a crocodile sandwich lunchbox. How does that sound?
I don't want another one of your lunchboxes for the rest of my life.
That night, Chrissy showed up at Maya and Bryant's house and banged on the door like a woman possessed while screaming, "You'll pay for giving me those freaky lunchboxes!" Everyone at her college found out about the incident with the special lunchboxes, and she became the laughingstock of the town. Her boyfriend also found out that she'd been using her sister-in-law as a lunchbox slave for the last 6 months. When he did, he dumped her immediately. I don't date liars. We're done. That was what sent her over the edge and led her to making her revenge assault on our house. However, we were ready, and she was swiftly restrained by my husband and the in-laws, who then forced her to get down on her knees and apologize to me. They also saw to it that I was paid out of her savings for all the ingredients and labor I'd been putting into making her lunchboxes all this time. As promised, she never asked me to cook for her again after that. Now my husband tells me she's undergoing intensive training at home. Her mom is finally teaching her how to make lunchboxes for herself. She must have realized how hard it actually is to make them as delicious as the ones I'd been making for her, because she came over the other day and apologized deeply for everything she'd done to me. And you know what? Astonishingly, I think she meant it. I hope we can carry on rebuilding our relationship moving forward. By the way, me and my husband ended up eating all the weird and wonderful ingredients we bought for our little surprise. They were actually all really delicious, and we felt lucky to be able to try so many exotic delicacies from across the world.
Greg, do you have a minute? What are you doing right now?
What's up, Mom? I'm at home now.
And Riley?
Riley went out shopping.
Ugh. Greg, won't you stop doing this?
What? What do you mean?
Not what do you mean? Making your wife go out shopping alone while you laze around the house. You should be driving her and carrying the shopping. And how about helping out a little around the house? You're so inconsiderate.
Sorry, but Riley said she was going out shopping with her friend today. I didn't think she'd want me to tag along.
Don't make excuses. You're so quick to try and worm your way out with butts. Is this how you were raised?
Sorry.
Riley told me about you the other day. You never help with housework, and you go out drinking until late every night. If you can't bring in enough money to make ends meet every month, the least you could do is help out around the house.
I don't go out partying, and I bring in more than enough money to make ends meet. But Riley?
Don't blame this on Riley. She's supporting the finances working part-time because you don't earn enough. But you don't show her the slightest bit of gratitude. You're uncooperative at home and you spend your days off lazing around. And to top it all off, you have the nerve to blame my daughter because there's no money. Have you no shame?
Sorry.
Good grief, you're so quick to blame others or try slacking off. I want to see your parents' faces. Oh, your parents aren't around anymore, are they? Is that why they couldn't raise you properly?
My parents have nothing to do with this.
Anyway, if Riley's out shopping, then there's only one thing for it. Come over to my house immediately.
What?
I want you to weed the garden and clean out the cupboards if there's time. I want you to clean the gutters, too.
Didn't I just come on my day off last week?
This week, too. Do you think that just because Riley's not here you can spend your entire day slacking off? I won't allow it.
Today's the first day in ages I've got all to myself. Give me a break.
Quit your whining and get over here now. I'm gonna beat that rotten character of yours back into shape. I'll show you what it means to respect your in-laws.
Hey, Riley. Got a minute?
What's up? I'm kind of in the middle of eating with my friend right now.
Well, I've wanted to say this for a while. Would you stop bad-mouthing me to your mom? saying stuff like I don't bring in enough money or don't do housework. Stop filling her head with nonsense.
What? What's the problem with blowing off a little steam to my mom?
But because of that, she's sending me hateful messages every day. She won't listen to a word I've got to say.
Well, it's true that you don't bring in enough money, isn't it? You fail to make ends meet every month and we can't save anymore. So I have to work part-time to support the finances.
The reason we have no money is because you spend it without thinking. And you and your mom say you support the finances, but all you do is help out a little at the bakery your friend started. Can you really call bringing in less than $150 a month supporting anything?
God, you're annoying. It's not about the amount. I wanted to be a stay-at-home housewife. I'm only working for you because you don't make enough. Surely that alone provides you with emotional support. You should be grateful.
What kind of reasoning is that? Anyway, stop filling your mom's head with weird nonsense already. She even mocks my dead parents, says she's gonna beat my rotten character back into shape, calls me over to her house, works me like a slave, and ruins my days off. It's stressful, damn it!
She's trying to educate you because your parents aren't around. Teaching what it means to respect your in-laws. To call that stressful? You're disgusting.
My parents only died 3 years ago. I was already an adult by then, so calling it education is just weird. And respect isn't something that can be forced.
Wow. Do you ever shut up? I was enjoying a drink with my friend and you ruined it. You're the worst. You make me sick.
You're the one who's sickening. Going off complaining to your mom about me? Degrading me with your hateful comments despite me working my ass off? Forced labor on the days off I hardly ever get? I've had enough! Just stop it!
Oh? You think you can talk to me like that? I was kind enough to marry you even though you have no parents. You got some nerve, haven't you?
I'm not your family slave! I'm done being your yes man!
I am livid. You've gone and done it now. You won't get away with this. Prepare yourself.
Good morning, Greg, you little Ingrid. You have no intention of reflecting on your behavior, do you?
Good morning, you little ingrate. What a lovely greeting.
Riley told me everything. How much does she have to get hurt before you'll be satisfied? Telling her she should be earning more, that she's disgusting, despite the fact she's working so hard.
I said nothing of the sort. Are you both completely nuts?
Be quiet, you demon. You won't get away with it this time. If you dare take such an arrogant attitude with me, Riley will go through with what was left on the table.
You mean the divorce papers in the living room? I saw her signature was written neatly on them.
Consider this a warning. Riley will be relaxing, recuperating here at home. Unless you reflect on your behavior and fix your attitude. She can stay here forever as far as I'm concerned.
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. So if you don't want to be divorced, show some remorse for what you've done. Come here, get down on your knees and apologize. Promise to start making more money and helping around the house. We're being extremely generous by offering you this chance. You won't be getting another one.
But what if Riley's not satisfied even after that? If I can't live up to her standards, will she really divorce me?
Of course. If you can't make enough to support her, get a divorce.
Okay, I'll divorce her then.
What?
Her signature's already on the papers, so I'll go and hand them in now.
Wait a minute. Why would you do that?
Think about it. Let's say I did change jobs and make more money. Let's say I started doing all of the housework. Riley would still find something to complain about, because her dissatisfaction knows no bounds. We'd probably still end up divorcing anyway. In that case, isn't it better just to get it over with now? It appears we'll have your blessing after all. You have no complaints, right?
Of course I do. I won't allow you to divorce. The divorce papers were only meant to make you reflect on your behavior. You weren't supposed to actually file them.
By reflect, what do you mean I should reflect on? I haven't done anything wrong.
Like hell you haven't. Riley told me. I know everything. On top of not making enough money, you hardly bring any of it home. You leave all the housework to Riley while lazing around on the sofa. You show her no gratitude for working part-time and supporting the finances. And there are plenty more things for you to reflect on besides that. It's all your fault for not being able to provide for your wife.
Since we've come this far, I may as well just tell you. Riley is the reason we never have enough money.
Huh?
I bring home $2,000 a month. That covers the rent and utilities, We pay our contracts separately. My salary covers almost everything. It's more or less a normal figure for a couple living together.
What, you make that much? That's quite a lot. So why do you never have enough money?
Because Riley wastes it like you wouldn't believe.
Huh?
Clothes, shoes, bags, whatever she can get her hands on. Nearly every day. She goes out with her friends and spends whatever she likes on lunches and dinners. She's eating up our livelihood.
What? Riley's doing that?
And what's more, that bakery she works at part-time, she uses the family finances to give them loans. Almost half of our money goes on that.
Loans? That much? Why would she do that?
The bakery her friend started because of her hobby is so poorly run that it's always in the red. So she gives them money to supplement their failing finances because she wants to win her friend's approval. No matter how much I tell her to stop or try hiding the money, she just flips out and says, "Are you saying I should abandon my struggling friend?" Then destroys my stuff or hits me until I hand it over. So I end up reluctantly giving it to her.
Oh my god, there's no way my Riley would lay hands on anyone. She's a kind girl. Besides, I've never seen you with any cuts or bruises.
She only hits me where my clothes will cover up the marks. My stomach and back are black and blue. She's actually quite good at it. Just how exactly did you raise her? I want to see her parents' faces.
You're lying. Riley would never.
Since we can't make ends meet due to all of her spending, as well as my daytime job, I've started working through the night at a convenience store to bring money in. Even though I'm exhausted and sleep deprived every day, you call me over so you can boss me around on my days off. My body and mind are wrecked, and I can't take it anymore. No matter how much you tell me to earn more or work more, I can't. I'll never live up to yours or Riley's image of an ideal husband. Let's divorce, amicably.
No, wait. Don't be so hasty. To think Riley's so wasteful. I had no idea.
Give the excuses a rest. It's not that you didn't know, it's that you weren't interested. You always ignored everything I said.
Please, I'll give her a thorough telling off. Please just wait with the divorce.
No. I'm sick of you both manipulating me. As for the physical abuse, I've already got a medical certificate from the doctor. And I've been taking detailed photos of everything she broke. I can apply for the divorce on those grounds instead if you want.
Oh my god.
She'll also be paying me damages and covering my medical bills, which means my lawyer will be getting involved. I left my lawyer's business card at your house. See to it that any further communications go through him.
What? A lawyer? I can't contact you without going through someone else. This is ridiculous. Family matters should be discussed as a family. Surely you agree.
No, I don't agree. You people and I aren't family. You're strangers to me now. I don't ever want to see your faces again. I'll be blocking both yours and Riley's messages. So if you'll excuse me, have a nice life. Riley and her mom rushed over to my place in a panicked attempt to try and stop the divorce. But I'd already taken the divorce papers and a bare minimum of essential stuff and left the house to stay at a hotel. And so I blocked Riley and her mom, leaving everything to my lawyer, who I'd been in talks with for some time. The medical certificate and photo evidence became the deciding factor. Riley was forced to pay me damages and cover my medical bills, and the divorce went without a hitch. Due to the divorce, Riley was of course no longer able to give loans to her friend's bakery, which, already being in the red, went bankrupt. Her friend was resentful and apparently started ignoring her. I heard that Riley, in her isolation, became so unstable that she started hitting her mom almost every day. She even ran crying to my lawyer, begging me to take her back. It's not my problem, so of course I'm ignoring her. Afterwards, I moved out of the apartment we'd been living together in, and rented a single-person apartment. Now I'm enjoying the peace and quiet of living on my own. Life without walking on eggshells around my wife, or nervously anticipating messages from my hateful mother-in-law is super comfy, and I feel refreshed every single day.
Kim, I'm so sorry to message you so early in the morning. Our car was stolen this morning. The key we had hanging up by the door inside the house is also gone, so there's a high chance it was stolen. I just got done calling the police, but we're also asking everyone in the neighborhood for any information they might have. Please let me know if you know anything about this. Even if you think it's small or irrelevant, I'd be really grateful for anything you can tell me. Sorry again to bother you.
Sorry, Olivia. My signal's bad. I only just checked my messages.
Kim! I'm sorry to trouble you when you're busy. If you know anything about our car, I'd really appreciate it if you could tell us. The police are investigating, but we're trying to find out whatever we can from people in the neighborhood.
Oh, your car? Well, about that, I borrowed it.
What?
I came over early this morning and borrowed your car. Forgive me for telling you after the fact, but I'll be borrowing it for the whole day. There's no need to trouble the police over this, so see to it that they go home, okay?
Wait, what? You stole our car? Wait, how did you get the key?
Don't be so dramatic. I didn't steal anything. I borrowed it. I noticed the key hanging on the wall yesterday when I came over to your place for coffee. So I borrowed while you were in the kitchen cleaning up. I'm gonna come and give it back to you this evening, so relax.
What are you talking about? We need it.
Oh, don't be silly. I'm only borrowing it for a little while. I always did have a soft spot for your luxury sports car. I got a little excited every time I saw it parked up in the drive. I wanted to see what driving it was like, just once, to feel the roar of the engine, the wind in my hair. Thanks so much for lending me it. I'm going for another drive now.
I didn't lend you it. You come and give it back right now. That's my husband's car, and it's very important to him. Plus, you're not even legally allowed to drive it without your name on the insurance. You have no idea how much trouble you've put us in. Oh, please, just give it back.
Stop being such a tightwad. It's always me with you. You have 2 cars anyway. What's the problem with me borrowing one for a little while? I'm a single mother on welfare. I don't even have 1 car. And there you are with 2 parked up in your drive. Neville's having the time of his life being in such a cool car.
Neville's in the car with you? But it doesn't have a child seat. If you don't have a car, that means you don't have a child seat of your own, right? Why is Neville in there with you? Do you at least have him strapped in properly?
He's fine without a child seat. He's sat comfortably on my knee and having a great time. What's the harm in one day?
That's dangerous. What are you thinking? What if you get into an accident?
It's fine. Take a chill pill, sweetie. My boyfriend's the one driving. There's no way he'd let anything happen. You really do worry too much. It's no good for your health, you know.
That's not the point. Please obey the traffic laws. Anyway, please just come back and give it back right now.
But why? We went to the trouble of getting it to the highway and finally just left the state. Even if you tell me to bring it back, it's not like I can just snap my fingers and teleport.
You're on the highway with no child seat and a little boy on your knee? Where exactly do you plan on going in our car? Stop messing around. This isn't a joke, you know.
Lighten up a little, sweetie. What's the harm? We're just borrowing it for a little while, and like I said, you'll get it back this evening. We even filled the tank up to about, halfway. So if you think about it, this is actually profitable for you. You should be thanking me.
No. Bring it back now, Kim, please.
You're such a whiner. I told you it was fine, didn't I? Oh, you're being a real buzzkill right now, you know. Stop trying to spoil our fun. Just stay out of our way. Looks like I've got no choice but to ignore you until we return it. Goodbye.
What? Wait, Kim! Kim, are you okay? I saw you on the evening news. You really went and caused the mother of all accidents in our car. Shut up. This isn't the time for that. Neville? My little Neville? They said on the news he got flung out of the window by the impact of the crash. Miraculously, there's no danger to his life, but my God, that poor thing. Your son is seriously injured because of you. This isn't my fault. If that damn cop car hadn't suddenly turned its sirens on and started chasing us, if my boyfriend hadn't gotten scared of the cops and tried to swerve at the last minute to try to lose them, your boyfriend who was driving is at fault as well. But if you hadn't stolen our car in the first place, this never would have happened, would it?
To think you'd suddenly take a left-hand drive car onto the highway for a long-distance drive. It's the most reckless thing I've ever heard of. What's more, you stole it to begin with and didn't even have a child seat, instead putting your little boy on your knee. You're the worst. Why would you say something so horrible? Aren't you gonna say anything to try to make me feel better? My child's seriously injured, you know. I feel awful for Neville. He didn't deserve this at all. But to be honest, this is 100% your own fault. As for us, not only did we get our very expensive car stolen, but it got so messed up in the crash, it's now a write-off. All because you decided you were in the mood to commit theft today. Shut up! Shut up! You're the one who's at fault for having your car stolen. You're constantly showing up with that flashy sports car parked up in your drive when you know a single mother on welfare lives next door. You're so arrogant that I had no choice. Oh, it must be nice having to worry about money, huh? You probably look down on me and make fun of me behind my back. That's why I stole it. What the? So that's why you stole it? What a load of nonsense. Just because you're on welfare doesn't mean I look down on you. I've never thought anything of the sort, not even once. I mean, I've always treated you as a friend and neighbor, have I not? I invite you into our home for coffee, we go for walks with our kids. And where did the idea that we're rich come from? We're not as well off as you seem to think. My husband saved up like his life depended on it to be able to afford that car. Not only did you steal it, crash it, and have it written off, but you're not even gonna say sorry? Be quiet. I'm the victim here. It's your fault Neville's injured and in the hospital. If you didn't lend us the car, this never would have happened. You have a moral duty to make this right. Pay me compensation. You can say what you like, but the fact you stole and crashed our car is just that, a fact. And nothing you say can change that. You do plan on recompensing us for that, don't you? What? I obviously can't do that. That's impossible. I'm on welfare and barely have enough to get by as it is. Do you seriously think I can afford to pay for such an absurdly expensive car? This is what you get for being so extravagant. Anyway, shouldn't the person responsible for the crash be the one who pays compensation? Which means he's the one who should be paying, not me. By he, I assume you mean your boyfriend? Well, it's true. From what I've researched, it does seem like he'll be the one responsible for covering the compensation for the car itself. That's right, so it has nothing to do with me. But surely you do realize you're obligated to pay me too, right? Because you're going to be arrested for theft? What? I said you're going to be arrested for theft. I already filed the police report, which means the police should be knocking on your door any moment now. If it goes to court and you're found guilty, you'll be sent to jail for up to 10 years and receive a fine of up to $5,000 on top of the compensation you'll be paying us. What? What on earth? 10 years in jail? $5,000 compensation? Do you think I'm made of money? I can't pay that. No. In that case, I'll take you to court and take my money by force. Your savings, furniture, appliances, anything that can be used to pay back the money you owe me will be seized by the court. By hook or by crook, I will get my money. But if you do that, I won't be able to live anymore. Do you plan on completely ruining my life? All over one measly little car? Would you give it a rest already? You're like a broken record. I don't know how many times I need to repeat myself for you to understand. I did not lend you our car. You stole it. You're nothing more than a lowly thief. Reading through all the nonsense you sent me just now would have anyone think you were the world's biggest victim. Have you no sense of personal accountability? Do you have any intention whatsoever of apologizing to me and my husband, the actual victims of your crime? No, it wasn't like that, I swear. I really did think you were lending me it. I didn't think it'd come to this. I thought you'd just laugh it off and let us have it for the day. I thought you were kind. Don't be so ridiculous. You take me for some kind of saint? I'm a human being just like anyone else. If something important gets stolen from me, I get mad and I want to be repaid for the loss I've suffered. But if all my things are taken like you just threatened, I'll be in serious trouble. I won't be able to live anymore. It's true. I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that if a welfare recipient gets arrested, their welfare gets cut off. If you end up doing hard time, I think you can reapply once you get out, though. If my welfare gets cut off now, I'll be in dire straits. Neville's supposed to be going to elementary school next year. That costs money. Olivia, I'm begging you. Please withdraw the police report. Please. Kim, you really are astonishingly selfish. You won't pay compensation. You won't take responsibility. You won't even accept being arrested. Do you really think you can get away with this? I won't be withdrawing the police report. The police will most likely be showing up at your house sometime soon. When they do, please at least have the decency to accept your arrest gracefully. Please just think about this. If I get arrested, what do you think will happen to Nosimu? Do you really want to separate a child from his mother? You monster! You demon! That's not my fault, is it? You did this. Anyway, I'm done speaking with you. I'll see you in court. Bye. After that, Kim and her boyfriend were marched away in handcuffs by the police. Kim, not knowing when to give up, was adamant she'd done nothing wrong, even during the trial, insisting it was her fault for letting it get stolen. Due to that, she was found guilty almost immediately and had to give up all her savings and sell all of her assets to cover the fine and compensation she owed me. Apparently, she told her boyfriend she borrowed the car from a friend in the neighborhood. He had no idea it was stolen. Which I found out when he turned up at my house, got down on his knees, and apologized profusely. That's why I decided to settle on compensation with him out of court. Neville made a full recovery, and after being discharged from hospital, I heard his dad, Kim's ex-husband, took full custody of him. As for my husband, he was pretty depressed after having his beloved sports car stolen and written off like that. But he was ecstatic when I told him he could buy one with our compensation money. He's flicking through the pages of a car catalog with a big grin on his face as we speak.
Aubrey, you got a minute? What did you do with my work bag? Did you throw it away again?
Huh? I don't know. Why do you always suspect me of something?
Because you're always throwing my stuff away. You burned all the books and CDs from my bookshelf in the yard. You cut all the clothes from my closet into tiny pieces and threw them in the trash. It would be weirder if I didn't doubt you.
Do you seriously need to remember every little detail? Oh, you're so cringy.
Never mind that. What did you do with my bag? All the documents for today's meeting were in there.
I threw it in the garbage at the neighborhood collection point on my way to volleyball practice this morning. If you don't hurry up and start sifting through the trash, the garbage truck will come and collect it.
What? Why would you do something like that?
Well, since you're a garbage dad, all of your personal belongings are garbage too. All I did was take out the garbage. If anything, you should be thanking me for being such a delightful daughter.
I don't know how you reached that conclusion. I'm fully aware that you hate me. To a degree, I've basically given up on you because I know you're going through a rebellious phase. But don't get carried away. I draw a line at throwing away my belongings.
Huh? Is the piece of garbage trying to say something to me? How dare you, you ugly, good-for-nothing piece of trash. You're the one who's getting carried away. In fact, I'm gonna tell Mom about this. You won't be getting any supper this evening.
It's no wonder you grew up to have such a wicked nature with your mom Chrissy enabling you by taking your side every time. But you're 15 years old now. It's time you stop behaving like such an immature brat. You do understand the difference between right and wrong, don't you?
Surely taking out the trash is a good thing. I do wish I could toss you in there along with it, but unfortunately I'm stuck with you.
If you're so intent on carrying out your malicious pranks, I have a couple of ideas on my own.
You think I'm scared of being threatened by garbage? Don't make me laugh. More importantly, I have morning volleyball practice now, so stop bothering me. Actually, just don't message me at all, garbage dad, okay?
Hey, Aubrey! What the hell is going on?
Oh, don't you dare talk to me. Did you not understand what don't message me at all means? Oh, you're so annoying.
Believe me, I'm not messaging you because I want to. But no matter how many times I message your mom, She does nothing but ignore me. So I had no choice but to message you instead. Now tell me, what the hell is going on? Why have all my belongings been tossed out in the yard? Not just that, but it looks like they got thrown out of the second floor window. My expensive speakers have been smashed to pieces. What's more, my keys don't work anymore and I can't get in the house. Did your mother change the locks?
Obviously, you no longer have the right to live in the same house as us. Me and Mom will be living just the two of us from now on.
Stop screwing me around, Aubrey. I know you both hate me, but this is taking it too far. You tossed all my stuff out in the yard. I can't get into my own house. Where the hell did you expect me to sleep? On a park bench?
Not my problem, but now that you mention it, a park bench would be perfect for a piece of garbage like you. Why don't you just go stay with your mistress?
My mistress? I don't know what you mean.
Don't play dumb. Mom told me all about your sordid behavior. You've been having an affair.
What? Me? Having an affair?
There's always a different lie. You have overtime or you're going drinking with a friend. You're cheating on Mom, aren't you? Mom said she saw you walking around with another woman. You can't worm your way out of it this time. Oh, you're the worst! I feel sick just knowing that you're my dad. I wish we weren't related. You're such a piece of trash. I wish the garbage collectors would put you in their truck and get rid of you once and for all.
Just slow down a minute. I'm not having an affair.
Oh, shut up. No one believes you, liar. I don't need a garbage dad like you.
Okay, I'll leave then. I'm not your real dad anyway.
Huh?
I've tolerated you for so long, but there's no need for me to keep up the charade anymore. If you two don't like me, then you're the ones who should leave. In any case, the pair of you are nothing but strangers to me.
Wait a sec. What does that mean? You're not my real dad?
I thought it would be in your best interest if you didn't know, so I kept quiet about it all this time. But the guy Chrissy cheated on me with is your real dad.
What? The guy Mom cheated on you with? Stop lying. You're the one who's having an affair. Stop trying to deflect responsibility.
That's the lie Chrissy brainwashed you with. I've never had an affair. There's also no evidence whatsoever to suggest that I have. On the contrary, there is evidence that proves Chrissy's affair. It was over 10 years ago now, but I kept hold of all the proof.
You've got to be lying. Mom wouldn't have an affair. She's not like that.
You were 1 year old when I discovered what she was up to. She'd been seeing her ex-boyfriend from her student days behind my back. Not only did she know you weren't my child, but she kept quiet about it and let me carry on thinking you were. Both of our families got dragged into the drama when it got out, and things got seriously messy. Both sides fought it out in a battle of epic proportions. I want a divorce! I don't want a divorce!
If it's like you say, and Mom really did cheat on you, and the guy she cheated on you with is my real dad, why did you stay with her this whole time? Why didn't you divorce her?
Well, to tell you the truth, it was because of you. Both mine and Chrissy's parents were opposed to the divorce. They insisted that the child shouldn't suffer the sins of the mother. They said that because I had already raised you for a year, you were as good as my own daughter. They somehow persuaded me to overlook what your mom did to me and continue raising you as my own. I was young back then, and I foolishly thought that I probably bore some responsibility for her drifting away from me. I did as our parents told me, and decided to try and rebuild the relationship for your sake.
That really happened? You did that for me?
But it was a total failure. Chrissy mistook my willingness to fix the relationship as forgiveness for what she did, and got completely carried away. She seemed to forget the fact that she cheated on me in the first place, and actually had the nerve to blame me for trying to divorce her. She took revenge by filling your head with lies about me. To top it all off, she tried to destroy your image of me once and for all by spearing me with cheating accusations. As a result, I've been treated like garbage by the pair of you for longer than I even remember. And now my personal belongings are getting thrown away, even though I was originally the victim in all this. I won't tolerate it anymore.
I had no idea about any of this. It's not like I remember being 1 year old. How was I supposed to know everything Mom said about you was lies?
It's true. There's no way you could have known. She brainwashed you from a young age, after all. It's only natural for a girl of that age to be close to her mother. That said, does your ignorance justify everything you've done to me? You're old enough to understand the difference between right and wrong now.
But
don't bother. I'm done listening to your excuses. I have no intention of forgiving you, no matter what you say. These 14 years were a complete waste of time. Working like a dog while being abused by my cheating wife and a kid who's not even mine. I really am a sucker for putting up with it for so long. But no more. Goodbye.
No, wait! Where are you going?
I'll be staying at a hotel for the time being until I get my thoughts together. My belongings are all either broken or caked in mud, so I can't use any of them. My key no longer works, so I can't get into the house.
Just wait a minute. I'll come and let you in. Wait, please, let's just talk about this. Come home!
There's nothing for us to talk about. Besides, why would I want to live in a house with garbage like you and your mom in it? It's not the kind of place I can call home. I'll be making the necessary arrangements for the house, too.
The necessary arrangements? What does that mean?
It means I'm selling it. The house itself, the land it's built on, the furniture, everything.
What? Why?
Because I'm divorcing Chrissy, which means the two of you, being complete strangers, will be obliged to get out. A big detached house like that is too big for me to live in on my own. Plus, the place is full of nothing but bad memories for me. So it's not exactly somewhere I feel like staying. I'm gonna sell it and move away.
You mean you're gonna kick me and Mom out on the streets? You'd go that far? Really? Where are we supposed to go if you kick us out? Are you saying we should sleep on a park bench?
Not my problem. Although now that you mention it, a park bench would be perfect for two pieces of garbage like you. Could always just go to Chrissy's parents' place, though. Since they're the sort of people who'd overlook their daughter's unfaithfulness and force me to tolerate a relationship that was clearly against my best interests, I'm sure they'll be more than ready to take full responsibility for you both.
But Grandma's house is in the middle of nowhere. I'd have to hop between about 5 different trains and buses to make it that far. There won't be any good schools, and I won't even be able to go shopping. Plus, I don't want to switch schools now. I like the one I'm at.
It's not like I'm saying you have to go live out in the sticks if it's inconvenient for you. You don't want to do that. Living with your mom, just the two of you, is always an option. Your mother is unemployed, though. So granted, your standard of living will drop dramatically. And far from just having to quit volleyball club, the chances of you even being able to go to high school would be slim.
Both options sound awful. No, I don't want to. Please, I'm begging you to come back. I'll never call you a garbage dad again. I'll never say anything mean at all. I'll be the perfect daughter. I might not be your real daughter, but you did raise me as your own for a whole 15 years. Surely that means we have a special bond. Would you really abandon your daughter like this?
I've never felt a particularly strong bond with you, so I really would. All I'm doing is throwing away my garbage ex-wife and her piece of trash daughter like the human waste you are. Just like how you've treated me all these years.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I won't be showing my face at the house for a while. I'll be making the preparations for the divorce and the selling of the house from the hotel. I suggest the two of you get your things together and get out.
Please wait. I'm sorry. I've treated you awfully. I'll never talk back to you again, I swear. Please just come back. I'm begging you, Dad.
Don't call me that. It makes me sick. After that, I put together some essential belongings and booked a room in a nearby hotel. My inbox was full of desperate messages from Aubrey and Chrissy begging me to come back, but I put my phone on mute and ignored them all. 3 days later, I called Chrissy and told her to meet at a nearby family restaurant, where I handed her the divorce papers. She broke down in tears, got on her knees, and apologized profusely while screaming, "Please forgive me!" But I told her if she didn't sign the papers, I'd take her to court, at which point she reluctantly scribbled her signature while crying floods of tears. In later discussions, we agreed to cancel out any child support payments as compensation for her breaking and ruining all my stuff. On top of that, I also plan on getting as much money as possible out of her for the property damage. Chrissy took Aubrey and moved in with her parents. Before we said goodbye forever, Aubrey clung to me as she cried, "No! I want to live with Dad!" But I remained quiet, shook her off, and saw the two of them out of my house for good. After I sold the house, I cut all ties with my own parents too. I bought a fairly large apartment not too far from work, and now I'm living my life there entirely as I see fit, in tranquil peace and quiet.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.